this melon, I would occasionally, the sort of Robert's aggression would be taken out on this piece of melon, and depending on the ripeness of the melon on a particular day, it was a very slippery scene partner. At one point, I think Eddie mentioned it went in a sort of perfect mathematical arc into my wine glass. At one point it went into the audience, which I think was a bit of a surprise for the front row.
So, like, someone got
there was one occasion, someone sort of landed a piece of melon lands in the lap, you know. It's like extra dimension to the performance.
I'd sell it on eBay, quite frankly. I'd be making some money out of that.
There you go. But there was one where I was in the middle of this rant about modern prose literature, and the melon slipped off I stabbed it with the knife, and it slipped off the fork, and it went onto the floor, and instinctively I just pushed my chair back and bent over and picked it up and ate it. And I heard this extraordinary gasp from, 1,100 people, 1,200 people, over 1,000 people. Get a sort of like, ooh, and the noise of 1,000 people gasping is significant. And then I looked into the eyes of my esteemed colleague Charlie Cox, which were very twinkly. Because he sort of couldn't believe, A, that this piece of melon had slid onto the floor, B, that I had picked it up and eaten it straight away, and that it had got this reaction from the audience. And then it looked like we might both lose contact with the play and lose contact with the scene, because I love Charlie so much, and we've experienced so much together, but he's one of the few actors in the world who, if he starts to laugh, he's got the malicious laugh, and I could see laughter rising in him. I thought, oh no, I'm not going to be able to finish the scene. And there was a pause, and then the audience clocked that exchange between us, and they laughed. And then I think Charlie turned to them and pointed at me, and they laughed again. And I turned back and I had to look down to compose myself. and I can't remember how it was broken. We both took a sip of wine at the same time, and then there was a spontaneous round of applause. But I think